Why did I write the book? Well, I wanted a sequel to Double Entry. It'd always been my intention to make Accounting for Murder a series, and I think Double Entry got us off to a good start. It established the hero and some of the other main characters, and it created the setting. What I didn't want in a sequel was just the same again, which you often get. I wanted to create something rather different this time. As soon as my hero Frank gets involved in making a film, he's moving out of his comfort zone. You see, he's not just dealing with businessmen and accountants. Movie makers and actors, well, they live in a different culture. And the second thing is the setting. It's a place called Castell, means the Red Castle. The castle itself becomes one of the players in the story. Well, then there's the supernatural element, or if you like, the question of whether or not there is a supernatural element. The biggest difference is that the events in this story place a lot of strain on Frank and Sian's marriage and on their relationship with their children. In the first book, Double Entry, everything seemed okay from that point of view. Now we're not so sure. The result of these things is that Frank finds himself stretched in several ways, and he finds abilities he didn't know he had, and he sees aspects of Sian that he hadn't noticed before. I enjoyed the development of Frank and some of the other characters and the relationships. The other thing was the challenge of weaving the different elements of the story together. The film, the question of the haunting, Frank and Chad's relationship, that I was just saying. And across all of that, of course, there's the murder mystery itself. Always is a word to be used with caution, but I do think infidelity makes for serious problems. Trust is important in any relationship, business, social, family, whatever. But in marriage, it's essential. And infidelity and trust don't go well together, not even when the couple are honest about it. They also find that a one-off event has ongoing consequences. You can't just put it behind you the way that you might like. And apart from all that, Frank and Sian find it difficult to give guidance about relationships to their kids once they themselves have started misbehaving. No, that's just it. Young people find it hard to believe that the older generation can teach them anything. And sometimes there's a good reason for their scepticism. It's also often hard for older people to have their accumulated wisdom rejected. They can take it personally. But youngsters soon spot hypocrisy or anything phony. So Frank and Sian are at a disadvantage when they see their daughter getting involved with someone they think is unsuitable, when they've both been unfaithful. Who are they to tell her what's good or bad? I don't want to answer this one, as it sounds as if I'd be taking sides. I want readers to make their own minds up, and that will depend a lot on their own experiences and their beliefs. I suppose as I believe in God, I can't completely rule out the existence of any other supernatural beings. That doesn't mean I'd ignore a scientific explanation for anything. Not specifically. It's a perfect setting for a lot of reasons. Location, atmosphere, the actual history of the castle. But there is a legend about a ghost, and so that was a help. I know there are apps you can get on the phone that will enable you to turn on or off almost anything electrical in your house. Like anything else, they must be capable of being used for mischievous purposes as well as good ones. Drones are used by archaeologists to find signs in the landscape of long-lost buildings below ground. I'm working on a book called On the Slate. It involves a slate mine and borrowing money. In it, Frank will come up against organised crime and allegations of corruption in the police. He's going to be getting out of his depth, and Frank and Sian are going to find that the problems in their marriage are not over. Before I finish that, I'm wondering about writing a shorter, simpler whodunit for Frank to solve before he gets into that tangled web. We'll see.